Hey everyone, the name is Kris Barocsi. Welcome to Gear Corner. Today we're checking out the Venus by Crazy Tube Circuits. This pedal is an homage to the BK Butler tube driver. If you ever heard Pink Floyd or a number of other amazing guitar players who used or still use the tube driver, you know that sound. It is a proper tube pedal. It actually has a preamp tube built in. We'll talk about which one in this case. And what the Venus is a combination of all of the pedal format versions of the tube driver, and the Venus also has the features of the rack version. It is crazy good. This is how it sounds like. I will plug in my Tele Les Paul. I will plug it in into the return of the Rev to see how the Venus performs as a preamp as well. Right now I'm using the Tone King Imperial Mark II, which sounds like this. You'll see 6 knobs and 2 switches on the pedal, which is much more than what you see on the original pedal. You have volume, bias, drive, and then high, mid, and low. The 2 switches are tight and line driver. Let's start with the upper row. The volume is obvious. The bias is something that will change the bias of the pedal. With that, if you go down, you have a much more spitty, dirty, nasty sound, almost gated. If you go way down, it's broken, like a broken fuzz, which is really cool. That is a mod that a lot of people did with like the original pedal to find a sweet spot or to make it more versatile, really. Then the top right corner, there's the drive. I think this is the right moment to talk about the preamp tube that's built in. The original one had the ECC83, which is a gainier. That is like as far as I'm concerned, the preamp tube that you'll find in most amps. That has quite a bit of gain, but a lot of people preferred the ECC82 in the original ones, which will give you more headroom, less gain, and just a bit more dynamic range. Now this one, the Venus, has a tube that's right between those two. So it's the ECC832, which combines those two, really, the 83 and the 82, and gives you the best of both worlds. And then the lower row, high, mids, and low, are kind of simple to understand except for the mids. The highs just boost and cut a really nice frequency. The lows do the same thing, but the mids will give you sort of a sweep through different voicings of tube drivers of different eras. And it gives you a really cool mid push, like a really nice frequency if you crank that knob. The tight switch is very powerful. If you have it off, there's a lot more frequencies going into the clipping side of the circuit, which means that you have a lot more bass, which will make it sound much, much bigger and much less tight. If you want to have like a lot of gain and want to keep it focused, want to play your palm mutes and everything, you better turn that tight switch on. If you just want a really big lower gain sound, or like almost like a fuzzy, huge high gain sound, just keep it off. And that with a Strat, with a Tele pickup. It's big. And the last little switch is the line driver, this one, which allows you to if you have it off, you'll have the unbuffered output, like pedal output of the pedal version of the tube driver. If you turn that on or push it in, then you have the line level buffered output of the rack version, which is not only just much louder, it seems to me like it's more compressed, more gainy, and maybe a little more open sounding. It might just be because of going through guitar cables and then into the amp, and then the buffered output just allows the signal to stay more fresh. Not sure why exactly that is, but it's not just a volume level jump. Let's do a quick run through with the Tele. Let's check out the Venus with a Les Paul. These are low wound PAF style pickups. That is still the Tone King Imperial Mark II on the clean channel. I'll show you that first, and then I'll give you three sounds: low gain, sweet, sort of bluesy drive, then something sweeter, higher gain, and then something kind of aggressive. And now let's check out the Venus as a preamp. I have the Venus going straight into the power amp of the Rev D40, which means that I'm going into the effects return with the cable from the Venus. This is how that sounds like. My thoughts on the Venus. I am really struggling with focusing on this review and struggling with stopping playing the guitar, because whatever I play, it sounds awesome. I tweak something, then I feel like, oh, I want to test that with a Tele. Plug that in, and then I play a bit, and then, oh, I want to try that out with the Imperial or with the Rev or whatever. It inspires me. It makes me want to play more and experience more of it, which is, after so many years of tweaking pedals, it doesn't always happen. You know, there are tons of amazing drive pedals, other effect types and guitars and amps out there that are just amazing. You play it and you're like, wow, it's awesome. But you don't really get into it for whichever reason. And that's all right, because it's all subjective and all comes down to personal preferences. But with the Venus, it is very different. Like the moment Guillaume played it at the NAMM show, I was recording it. I had the in-ears in to monitor audio and record audio for our video that we did for the Thomann channel. And Guillaume started playing it, and the first chord was like, oh, what? Excuse me? this is special. This is crazy high quality sound wise and in terms of versatility without doing any of the, you know, digital stuff. It is a perfect version and like an homage to the Tube Driver sound, which is one of the most iconic, amazing, musical, etc. sounding drive pedals. And I'm so surprised that we don't have a million different versions. Like everyone has at least one Tube Screamer versions or Tube or whatever blues, you know, blues driver, blues breaker. All those pedals have a million iterations and versions, and everyone did their version. But with the Tube Driver, I guess because of the tube that's necessary inside, and just the whole complexity or whatever the reason is, you don't see a lot of these. And also on top of that, it is just one of the nicest pedals, like the prettiest looking pedals, which doesn't change anything in terms of sound, but you know how it is with all those pedals out there. You know, you want to feel good about spending your money on something, so it better look good too. And it does that. You guys should definitely check this one out if you're in the market for like a tube drive. Wow. All right, see you down there in the comments below, and see you in the next video next week. Bye bye.